Hello guys, I've been away for a bit and I'm back, well, partially back. God, so I had to get some kitty litter this morning. I was with my friends. We never wear masks anywhere, but I just won't do it. Right, anyone that does is a fucking coward in my opinion. There may be extenuating circumstances, you know, it's like you don't have a spine and you can't get the better of your cowardice and things like that, but that doesn't happen with me. I mean, over the last 7 years, I think I've grown about 10 spines every year. I'm just talking absolute bollocks. Something has become really blatantly clear to me, and it is this, that NPCs are all sociopaths and psychopaths, and are very seamless. But the more you awaken, the more you really get it. You not just about the fact that that is true, but so much more. I mean, the revelations just come in hard and fast for me. It's like I was watching my last video I did, and I see my own fake persona bollocks, the last remnants of my egotistical nonsense, and it's almost cringeworthy. Oh, yes, there was a massive onslaught of just dark generator, black hand nastiness, and it felt darker and denser, you know, than ever before. It really did. You could cut it with a knife. And it's if I'm really rambly in this one, I do apologise. Only I won't apologise because I'm always rambly. So what the fuck? I'm always rambling on. Because every time I feel like doing a video, and I only ever do a video when I'm guided, you know, when I feel guided by my true self to do a video, so sit down, do a video, and I'm not really so sure always, because there's always still latent influences going on. You know, like, you know, these times where you feel like your intuition is telling you to go somewhere and do something or whatever, right? Or telling you something about a person or that sort of thing. Just a minute, guys. Oh yeah, right? And at the same time, you're like, well, is that my intuition? Or is that my fake persona, dark generator, infected bullshit going on? Because I've had that, you know, fake intuition many years ago. In fact, I bought a car and it was a bad car, bad. Ooh, I think the first MOT it had cost like 800 quid or something. I mean, it was fucking bad. But I had that experience. I think it was because it was like, oh yeah, my intuition is telling me to buy this car, and I, you know, bought it, and it was a fucking piece of shit, man. It was an NPC car. And this is years ago, you know, I wouldn't have known the difference between a sold car and an NPC car. There are no sold cars. Well, then again, I don't know, maybe, but it was a lesson. It was a big lesson in discernment between what's real intuition and what isn't, because there are many times that we want something, like with people, you want somebody to be something for your own sake, but people are what they are. They're not what you want them to be. But we project all kinds of stuff onto other people, you know, we always do. And like, that's playing out in my life at the moment in a big way. Venus has gone retrograde, and it's really going to highlight how we relate to each other, how we relate to ourselves. And that has massive ramifications, you know, in a really big way. Every aspect of this experience, you or I is having here, is going to be highlighted, because how we relate to ourselves and each other, how we relate to nature and animals. Excuse me. Hello? Hi? You've lost a glove. Okay. Yeah. This is a lady, she's got two really cute little doggies, and I always take her for a walk every morning. Struggling to keep up with them, bless her. She's alright. Nice doggies too. Anyway, what was I on about? Yeah, relate, you know. I mean, like this morning I got to the bird bench. You know, my little bird bench where I feed little chubby birdies, and you know, it's always beautiful. And I keep seeing deer everywhere lately, which is very significant as well. Anyway, so some narc, and this is really what brought it home to me, because I could feel their energy, their essence. I could feel it really lingering in that place, because I'm becoming more and more sensitive, and I begin to feel and sense and read and wow, everything. I kiss in a big way. Come here, Min. Kiss. Hey? You're not liking your dinner then? Or I should say your third breakfast, really, because that's what it is, isn't it? Because you're like hobbits. First breakfast, second breakfast, third breakfast. Yeah. You're a lovely angel, aren't you? Do you want to say hello? Oh, no, he doesn't. Go on, I'll let you out. Come then. Okay. My darling. Yeah, so, what happens, I was there, I arrived, and somebody had come in and callously with their hand had removed all the bird seed from all the surfaces that I put down the other day and replaced it with peanuts. And the bird seed was all on the floor, and it was just literally, somebody had just gone whoosh. It was like they're saying, well, I hate birds, but I like squirrels, and so I'm just going to get rid of your bird seed, and I'm just going to put these peanuts down there. And I could feel, okay, I could see it in my, I know it's a woman, I know it's a narcissist or a psychopath, but it was something about it all, energetically, that I felt. It was like, yeah, that's it, there you go. And then the pet shop, and my friend, like I said, we don't wear masks, okay, it's just not done. I was in Sainsbury's having to get a few bits, and I was looking around, and they were all there, all the zombies, and it's this veiled hostility, which ever since this oh my crone business has started, I swear to fucking God, it's a spell, it's a dark evil spell. You know, I can feel it, and it's really done a number. I mean, I was in Tavistock, said I was going to be rambly, didn't I? I had to get a gift card for a relative, because they like that sort of thing, you know. So I got the gift card, and I wandered off, and I was walking, and I was really not well that day either. My body's been killing me, man. It was a miracle I was even able to do that. I was walking down the road, and it was like, oh, and I could feel, I was like, wow. Because not only are they wearing masks inside everywhere, but also on their own in their car, but now everybody's wearing masks in the street. Like, so there has been a major shift into darkness, you know? And it feels particularly demonic now. But anyway, I was walking, and then I subsequently lost the gift card, and I'm having to claim it all back, which will be not a problem at all, as indeed my true intuition was telling me. It said, don't worry about it, just send them an email and send them a copy, a photograph of the receipt, and it will be just fine. Don't worry about it. So that's okay. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm in the process of sorting it out. But I was distracted because everywhere people were filled to the brim with hatred, with a psychopathic hatred, because not only, well, if they were actual souled beings, they would be cowards and they would take that narcissistic rage out on each other, and that is sort of what is happening. But of course they're not souls. It's the matrix, it's the hive, and it's just filled with hatred and hate and hate, and people were fighting and calling each other names, and it was just like, wow, this is completely mad. And I felt exactly that same energy in Sainsbury's this morning. And then my friend was asked to leave the pet shop for not wearing a mask, which I think you could take that into a legal case, but I just won't be bothered with it, because we just don't want to entangle ourselves into that sort of thing. But now, so seeing as all these things have been going down, and I feel that, and I see that, and I really, really feel the darkness. And then yesterday morning, literally, was just like, wow, this is fucking thick. And part of it very much was my own hell contagion, my own trauma. There was a memory that came up from many years ago that is particularly painful to me, from when I was about 9 years of age, and it's haunted me my entire life, and it's very painful. But I've been having these weird images of black kittens, and just a dream of finding a little black kitten, and that goes right back to that particular traumatic experience I had when I was 9 years old, and that came up. So I really had to sit with that and feel that and work through that. But a shit load of bitter rage and hate came up, and just this sense of defeat, of like, you've been defeated, you're never going to get anywhere, evil's won, or evil always wins. But it was very convincing. So I knew very well I was dealing with shadow work again, and having to, soul retrieval, because there's just aspects of our soul, our being, that are so insane with the pain. I see it more clearly now than ever before, that like parking in the parking whatever spaces outside the pet shop, and how there's white lines everywhere. Everything is, your entire life, is delineated. It's like, well, you have to park here, you get a slot. Everything is, it's like you're it's like you're the computer and you're being programmed your entire life. You have to go here, and now you have to do a right, and then you have to do a left, or you go up or you go down, and then you switch on your computer and there's an ad telling you, buy this, and oh, life is like that. Oh, it's full of beautiful young people, and they're all happy. If you buy this, it will change your life and it will give you fulfillment, And then there's these weird ads all over town now. The whole woke thing, which is particularly fucking asinine and demonic, where it's like, oh, go and help, challenge yourself, help other people, and help people with disabilities, and help families with disabilities. Challenge yourself. And I'm like, hey, you know what? Go fuck yourself, motherfucker! Because I will challenge myself to help myself. And you see, interestingly enough, that is exactly what a hell of a lot of fucking people do not want to do. Psychopaths and narcissists love virtue signaling. They love to pretend they're doing the work. They love to pretend at spirituality. They love to pretend at doing the actual work, but they don't even have a clue at all whatsoever as to what that entails. They don't know, they don't understand, and they can't, and they won't, and they never will. Because you have to have a soul to understand it was, well, you know, as within, so without, you know. We're dealing, for those of us who are doing the work and are aware of what that means, increasingly, I said this months ago, about it's like emptying all the poison out of a barrel, and when you get to the very bottom of the barrel, it becomes thick. It reminds me of the whole black goo thing, which is a symbol for, you know, it's just terrifying, really, because the onslaught, wow. I mean, it's like you're walking through hell now. It's like, oh, I'm walking through hell. Yeah. The psychopaths that love nature, they say they love nature because they have plastic grass and they like plastic flowers, and yeah. But they put metal spikes on the branches of trees because they don't like birds. No. I remember it was in Ireland, and there was this Irish politician who swore blind. He stood there and there was some sort of debate going on. This is about a year and a half ago. Well, we're in the middle of a pandemic, aren't we? And blah, 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 blah. And it was like, oh, wow. So you have to really get the gist of psychopathy, right? They're very strange creatures, psychopaths, and I would hazard a guess that we're surrounded by psychopaths. I feel it. I felt it this morning in Sainsbury's. It was empty, and it was like, how dare you have the courage not to wear a mask? Just these weird hostile stares, askance, like you know, never straight on. No, it's like you know, because they're cowards, yeah. And I'm walking there and I'm thinking, whoa, today, please do, come on, start something. Give me a reason to give you a lashing of my tongue, you know. But again, that's the fake persona type crap, because then again, you see 50-50. There have been times, because I'm not a mouse, I'm pretty fearless. No, I'm not fearless, that's a load of bollocks actually. I have a lot of fear, but I go and I face my fears. That's what I would say I do. I've done that pretty much my whole life, because I've kind of always known that if you don't face your fear and walk into it, it will walk into you and it will stay there and fester. It will make you sick. It will rot you. You know, fear is the mind killer. You know, Paul Atreides. I was watching Dune again, and the film, which is a terrible hack job of a fantastic David Lynch epic film, which I think lasted about 8 hours. You can't get the they call it the extended version, but it isn't. It's the original David Lynch production, you know, and it's a fantastic film. So it is very beautiful looking as well. So the film that you get is a hack job, but you get the gist of it very well. And I was just really reminded of how much I resonate with the story of Dune. How much I resonate with that, man. It's big. Fear is the mind killer, you know. A soul traveller is the Kwisatz Haderach. They are able to go where the others cannot go. It's why you walk through hell with your eyes wide open, understanding, and I mean really understanding in the finest possible way, in the minutiae, what this is. And you know that it is a simulation. It is absolutely fact. It's an artificial construct, because it isn't natural, because that which is natural is off the cuff. It's off the cuff. It is ad hoc. It is instantaneous. It is never really planned, because, and I had this weird experience which I thought was incredible and meaningful, but yet again defies language, and I find this increasingly to be true, that I have no fucking words, no language for what I'm going through. And I see my own bullshit. I see my own egotistical nonsense, and where in part I still adhere to it for so many fucking reasons, you know. I still see all that hell contagion and all that bitter, savage self-hate and self-attack going on within me. The parts of me that are sat there like rabbits caught in the headlight of a car, and it's the dark generator whispering all these evil, doom-laden, defeatist, evil things into my consciousness, and it's there going, and then, or starts to get full of self-hate and just, but lying to itself, no, I don't hate myself, I hate you, and I hate you, and I hate that, and I hate that, and whatnot. You know, and the self-delusions and the lies and the gaslighting and all the schisms and weird, absurd stuff, like, wow. But also being able to step back despite, I mean, yesterday was really, really thick, the bottom of the barrel, like black goo type nasty shit. And it is demonic, and yet it is of you. You know what I mean? It's mad. It's like, no, can't be, yes, it must, no, But it was like, it lasted about 5 seconds. And it was like, yes, that is who you really are. That is what it feels like, in part. And it was a feeling of total peace, tranquility, but at the same time, infinite power. There was no vengeance, or jealousy, or envy, or hatred, or bitterness, resentment, fear, nothing. It's like, there's no ego, there's no warrior stances, explanations. I spoke about it, I think about a year or two ago, called it the Sentinel, and it was, but it's a child, it was like a child, it was like, well, there is nothing to fear at all. I am all. I am the way, I am the life, I am the all that is. And I rest peacefully, tranquilly, in a vast sea of infinity. And that is it. And from that place, I put myself into form and have experiences whereby I'm deluded, it is like this or it is like that. Whatever. There is no danger, there is nothing to fear. For I am infinitely powerful. There is nothing else outside of that at all. Everything you behold and everything you experience, you have created. It is all here. You hold it in your hand. You are the all that is. This is very strange, but it was very real, and just beautiful, languid peacefulness. It was just incredible, you know. Then you go to the other side and it's like, oh, rabid, bitter, vengeful hate and self-hate and insanity that obviously we're surrounded by psychopaths and narcissists. And, you know, all psychopaths are narcissists, but not all narcissists are psychopaths. I have found. It's a spectrum. We all have some narcissism in us. There is absolutely no doubt about that whatsoever. It's the truth. But some of us can face it, go into it and work with it and heal it. Walking through hell within and walking through hell on the outer as well, because it is the same thing. I mean, facing the most savage, hateful, demonic shit within your own soul, within your own being, for healing purposes, bringing you to a level of true purity and humility, and knowing, hey, yeah, having seen that, having experienced that being that I am. Wow. Yeah, that's really profound. But two consciousnesses, see, I've said it all along. And it's which one you choose and work toward, even whilst you're walking through hell. Surrounded by these weird creatures. Well, we're in the middle of a pandemic, we are, and it's like you're a psychopath, because you know that is not true, you know that. Because you were at that party with all these other politicians and you weren't wearing a mask at all, and you were just like that, and kissing and hugging and doing all kinds of sick shit that you do at these weird parties of yours, and so I know that you were lying, and you just, but it's like that, it's a psychopath. It's like, well, why can't you just lie still and let me murder you? You know, you should be happy I want to murder you. It's, you know, it's an honor. They're very strange creatures, and it's very strange. They tell these lies, they do these things, they are completely empty inside, but they are inhabited by something that is profoundly evil. It lies, it knows it lies, and yet it believes its own lies. It's very strange. And that is really what's happening. But oh, it's so... I mean, if it was winning, it wouldn't behave this way, you know? It wouldn't be this frantic and rabid. Ooh. But yeah. The hardest thing to focus and stay focused on that light that lives within, this knowing that you had the power all along. You had the power to go home all along. But everything that gets between you and your power, the realization of power, the utilization of said power, has to be alchemized. And it will tell you all kinds of stuff. It will say, oh, you've nothing to show for it, you're never going to get anywhere, look, you've been defeated again, and all the evildoers are being rewarded all around you, and blah blah, you know. So convincing, guys, because we have suffered terribly. It has all, evil has all that leverage, you know. It says, well, look at that, and look at that, and look at that, and look at that, and look what you've been through, and look what they're doing, and blah. There's all kinds of shit going on, people. Betrayal, strategies, weaponry, all kinds. Nasty, nasty, dark shit. Attacks, manipulations, gaslighting, nonsense. The truth is being revealed in our relationships, our friendships, our familial friendships, the people that we know, all of it. In ourselves too. Our own fake bullshit is also really being revealed. It's like, well, now when you said that, did you mean that? Was that true? Actually, no, and no, and ooh. That toxic shame that the narcissists cannot go, because they are not the Quiz at Zadorak, you see. They cannot go there. Only a soul traveller can. Only a soul traveller can heal, alchemize, and bring forth the light reset. Nobody else can do it. A narcissist refuses to heal. They will not heal, they cannot heal. They can make for perfect mimics where you honestly think they are sold and they're doing the work, and it will turn out to not be so, and then you start to see their self-delusion, their lies, their treachery, and their bullshit. You just look around you at the people everywhere you go, and it is that way. All these nice new agey people, that there is a channel that I like because some of what she says resonates with me. I do not espouse the same theories or whatever as her, but I like some of it. And she's an astrologist, and there was a person who left about 5 long-winded comments underneath, and I was like, oh, there we go, spot the spiritual narcissist, self-important bullshit. I mean, it's like when you know the true self, you see it more than ever before, because it, in contrast, is so false and so fake. All the bravado, you know, all the, oh, look at me and I'm so important, and oh, my followers. She was going on a lot about my followers this and my followers that, and I was like, why would you want to have followers? What the fuck is that about? You know? Oh, leadership. I'm like, why would you want to lead anybody? If you need to lead people, they're not worth knowing. Oh, haven't you worked that out yet, love? I mean, it's exhausting living in this world. It's exhausting being around people that don't fucking get it. Yes, some of them are souls, but you know, I've spoken about this before, children of a lesser God. I'm not saying they are lesser, by the way, but it's momentarily, as an experiential thing, they are, because they don't get it, and it's exhausting having a conversation with them. Because inevitably, you're here, you've done some serious work, and you've walked through hell, and you get it, you see it, all of it. You're the bigger picture person. Inner, outer, you see it, you get it, it's like, yeah, you're on the fucking page. They're over there somewhere. And it's like, why are you listening to Eckhart Tolle every day? Like, what the fuck? It's like, no. And they're conceited, you see, and they're arrogant, because that is what mass consciousness is. It is narcissistic, it is conceited, and it's arrogant in its ignorance, you see. It's very hard. It rubs my hell contagion up the wrong way in every imaginable way. And it makes me want to murder them. And then my true self steps in and says, well, yeah, but you know what? Look at it like this. And then it's like, oh yeah, I get it now, and that's fine. Oh, the skill, that keeps coming up again and again. And I'm really working on that, but it's always that same shit. One of the biggest programs going is the always expect the worst, then you won't be disappointed, right? That's a very big one. I've spoken about it many times in many of my videos. And that is, it's a very sort of narcissistic thing, you know, because deep down, in a recess of their being that they never go to, they all believe that. It's their raison d'être, you see. Because any soul traveller worth their salt, and we are all worth our salt, will say, well, I know that I'm taking a risk. It looks like I'm taking a risk. Yeah, I'm crossing the abyss, and the skill is about allowing yourself to know that you are that infinite peace and tranquility, that infinite power that never needs to prove itself, for it is consciousness and it has created everything. Everything is but just a temporary experience, and it's going to be alright. Beautifulness, you know. But you have to face your own narcissistic tendencies, and every time you do, you're going to get that sort of like bottom of the barrel feeling of, I am not going to heal, and I don't hate myself. It's not about that. It's about them, and it's about that. And it's always blamed on some external thing. There is never an ounce of responsibility taken at all, and it just becomes bombastic with its own ego. Because that is all they have, and oh, they're brittle. You try and have a conversation with a narcissist and point out the obvious fallacies of their conceit, and watch them turn really vicious. Well, it's quite scary actually. But it's like, oh, I see, okay, I see, yeah, there you go, so you are a total narcissist. Oh, thanks for showing me, you know, it's the energy of them, the energy that comes off them, the energy that came off that was in the bird bench place. Somebody just moved that. My older birdseed that I'd carefully put down and then sat down to watch all these cute little angels come and eat. And then there are some squirrels there that like to come in, and these are really fat squirrels, by the way, because they get a lot of food, because they steal it from the birds, and they muscle their way in, like any narcissist or psychopath. They muscle their way in, get rid of all the little birdies, right, and start eating all the birdseed, because it's got bits in and they want it, right? So I shoo them away, and I put some stuff for the squirrels over there, let's say, right? But no, that's not enough. They want it all. So they go there, they go there, they go there, they go there. So I'm not having that, because there's all the little birdies, and, you know, it's like, hey. And these squirrels are really fat anyway, man. They're like obese. They need to go to squirrel Weight Watchers. But yeah, there you go. You see, all of that whole situation was incredibly enlightening to me. I was like, wow. But I could feel that being. I could feel the metallic grind of that creature. That is what they have. It's a metallic grind, or the sound of glass against glass. I always hear that or feel it when I'm around narcissism. And it is a spectrum. It is a spectrum, guys, and it lies within all of us. And to deny that fact is to do yourself a disservice. It's kind of paradoxical. Some of us, a load of us, I too included, used to deny it. No, that's not me, and, you know, whatever. But it bites you in the ass, and then you don't have any more. You're with your back against the wall, you know, because it's there, and you're facing off with your own narcissism, and you have to go into it in order to heal it. You have to dispense with the bullshit and the self-delusional crap. But, you know. So, yeah. That leap of faith and the, you've been defeated, you have nothing to show for it, you haven't manifested anything, you have this, you have that, and evil always wins, and you're walking through hell. The world's gone black and white, what the fuck, and there's dead animals everywhere, and people are completely possessed by fuck knows what, and they have glowy eyes, and they look at you funny because you're not wearing a mask, and now you're being fucking refused entry in the pet shop, and this is happening, and that's happening, and what the fuck, because it has been that way. It has definitely turned up a notch. The evilness has turned up a notch. This, oh my crone, has done that. It's an evil spell. That's what they do, isn't it? They're spellcasters. We're spell breakers, though. We break the spell in here, for consciousness creates it all. It's a quest. Spell breakers, people. Soul travelers. Hell walkers. Spell breakers. And if it gets really fetid and dark and nasty, evil, beyond what language can fucking describe, and you're sat there having to, feeling like, and you hear that weird, or you feel that weird sensation of glass against glass and all that shit going down, then you're getting it right. Because if you were getting it wrong and living a delusion and whatnot, evil would leave you alone because you're doing its work, you see. It's like if Luke had said to the Emperor, oh, okay, yeah, I'll join the dark side because looking at Darth Vader, I like the outfit, it's cool, snazzy. Yeah, I'm on. Cool. You know, he would have been really miserable in time because evil does not pay its dues. It wants your life force, and if you give it your life force, it's not going to reward you, really. You know, you're going to disintegrate in time, you know, but it plays a very crafty little game, does evil. So it will have you going for a bit, but eventually, boom, I know from experience. And it will mercilessly attack those who serve the light. Diligently, courageously, persistently, going within and truly fucking doing the work, knowing what it means knowing why they're doing it and who carry on doing it despite everything. And then it gets really, really agitated, because it's like, why can't I get you to just fucking give up? And it's like, well, because it's not my nature. I'm not wired that way. I don't know. I mean, it really had me with my back against the wall yesterday, and again this morning as well at the bird bench. I didn't stay much. I moved some of the peanuts. I left half peanut and then half birdseed. You see, that's me. I could have said, oh, fuck you, I'm just going to move all the peanuts on the side because the squirrels are all obese anyway. No, I didn't do that, because two wrongs don't make a right, and I'm not going to waste my time stewing in hatred, because that makes me feel like shit. So here we go again with the old forgiveness. Forgiveness does not mean we tolerate evil, and its minions and its deeds. No, but letting go, like I said in my last video, is very important, because this is it's a very narrow path. The path of true light is very fucking narrow, guys. We fall off it many times. That's okay. Every time you do, you learn something. It makes you more powerful. So yeah, if it tells you that you failed, if it tells you you're not going to get anywhere, if it tells you that you're disgusting and worthless and powerless and evil always wins and blah, and if it tells you that you don't have any power, how dare you think you have power, you're a narcissist, it does all of this, then you're on the right path, because it is desperate, guys. The more desperate it becomes, the more antagonistic it becomes. I can see exactly what's going on in the external, and I could feel what was going on internal, and the dark generator, wow, it's really been ramping it up. Yeah. So don't give up. There's a rune called Awas. Let me see if I can, let me have a look. Yes, that one. You see? That one there. If you're a Capricorn, that will be your rune. That's your rune. Now, that rune to me always means like the reeds. And the other day I came across some bamboo somewhere, oddly, in the middle of Devon. And there was a massive freezing cold wind that was blowing and blowing, and that was literally blowing trees over in Plym Bridge. Great big trees, which is very upsetting, because I love trees. But Eos is like that bamboo. No matter how hard that freezing cold evil wind blows, it cannot break a true soul traveller. All will be utilised. It always is, You'll see. It cannot break you. It's simply not meant to be, you see. It's not meant to be. Evil's not meant to win. It's only ever a temporary adversary. That's it. So, if you're feeling that way, and if that's what you're going through, and people and situations and whatnot in your life are tempestuous or weird, or things turn out to be not what you thought they were, people turn out to be not what you thought they were, situations turn out to be not what you thought they were, your family turns out to be like, what the fuck, and it's hurtful and painful and terrifying, and you feel all alone, like you're walking through hell, and the world has actually become black and white, like fucking Pleasantville, because that is what it is now, right? And it's just like in that movie Pleasantville. It's like, well, it's black and white, and it's wonderful and it's great, and everyone, they're all happy, they're happy, oh, it's wonderful, and they're just going to have their rooster bee. But funnily enough, they're not doing that at all, because in Wembley Stadium in London, they're all meant to be massive queues of people for their rooster bee, only there's nobody there, so it's just a lie. You get what I'm saying? It's all a facade. It's like with the whole oh my crone business, and it was like, oh, panic, panic, panic on the streets of London, you know, and all that. And it was like, oh, everybody needs to go out and get boosted right now, we have to, and they were showing queues of, like, I mean, thousands of people queuing, all perfectly, you know, socially distant, you know, and with their phones going, Kirby, you know, like that. And it was like, yeah, okay, I believe that, not. And then Hugo Talks did a really good little video showing that it was all completely and utterly fake, because there was nobody ever there, and there were people with great big cameras and, you know, filming it all to put it on the mainstream media news. And then everybody packed up and went, cheers, yeah, cheers, thank you for the 20 quid that you paid me to stand here for 10 minutes while you're filming me doing so. And they all went, and that was it. End of. Nothing, nada, niente. So, yeah, that tells you all, really. That tells you everything you need to know. That is what it is. That is what evil is, guys. It's fake. It's fucking fake. Alright? So whatever comes at you, whatever circumstances you find yourself in, and you're walking through hell, and you increasingly more awake, your eyes will be opened again and again and again and again, and you will see it more and more and more intricately, like what the, and you're part of this simulation where everything is regimented from day fucking one, and you're around back and you've been hammered into a tiny square fucking black hole. Then I salute you, because, you know, you're a soul traveler and you're doing the inner work. Do the inner work, walk the true narrow path, and do not fucking give up. Not that you actually ever can anyway. I'm just saying, sounds good. Okay, I think that would be it for today, guys. You know, I think that'll be it. I'm not gonna say happy holiday season. I've said it now, shit. I'm not, because I don't believe in it. It's fucking bullshit. You know. But I would say this. On that fateful day, go and do something really fucking nice for yourself, alright? Yeah? Do something that you love, if you can. Or give yourself a really nice big hug, you know, or spend a day with somebody, if there is somebody in your life who truly is special and loving, who knows how to love, who knows how to be true. Or if not, then love yourself and be true to yourself, because that's what we're doing here now, guys. We are honoring ourselves, you know, by choosing light and letting go and alchemizing and letting it come up and feeling it and releasing it. Yeah, and if you feel the hate and the rage, then let it come up. Don't be afraid of it. You have every reason to feel it. You've been severely abused here, and it's all gone totally fucking tits up and insane with the pain inside your psyche. That's got to be released. But keep letting it go. Find a place to scream. I find screaming your lungs out until your fucking voice box is like that. It's good for you. Scream. Break things. That sort of thing. You know. All that's part of self-care and self-love and honouring yourself. Keep honouring yourself and keep honouring the light. You know, they might be spellcasters, but we are spell breakers. Remember that. We've had the power all along, and everything else is a fucking illusion.